Hello Year 2 and welcome to today's RE lesson. I hope you've enjoyed the introduction from Miss Head. Let me start by sharing my screen for the last time for this year as I talk to you about humanism and happiness. So hopefully you can see my screen now. So my lesson is talking about humanism and happiness. And this is the symbol here that many humanists use for humanism. Let's start though. Let's recap about our last RE day where we learnt about Islam, and let's have a look at these questions. We'll go through one at a time. So question 1, what is the fourth pillar of Islam called, which asks Islamic people to fast? And the fasting is when people give up food and water, okay, and when Islamic people do it, they do it from sunrise to sunset. But what is that fourth pillar called? Is it called the Hajj, Sawm, Ramadan, or Zakat? What was the fourth pillar? Well done if you said Sawm. Sawm is the fourth pillar, which asks people to fast. But what is the Islamic month called where Muslims fast? What is the month actually called? And it is from the Islamic calendar. So you're not looking at October, November. It has a special name, one you may have heard of. Well, should have heard of. Well done. The answer was Ramadan. Ramadan. So during the month of Ramadan is when Islamic people follow that fourth pillar of Sawm, where they will not eat or drink throughout the daytime. Okay. Question 3. Why do Muslims fast? You need to choose two. Is it to overcome greed, to show they are brave, to overcome selfishness, or to save money? Why would someone who belongs to Islam, why do they complete Sawm during the month of Ramadan? Well done if you said to kind of overcome greed, to show that you don't need it, and to overcome selfishness. So there are two of the reasons someone who is Muslim would fast, okay, during Ramadan. So really well done there. Always good to recap our knowledge, keep it fresh in our mind, really kind of deepen our learning and our memory. Anyway, going back to humanism and happiness, I've got some words here, some phrases, which are sort of possible ingredients of happiness. So what might make you happy? Would having lots of food and drink regularly make you happy? Friends or family? Having money, gifts, games and gadgets, do they make you happy? Does living in, if you had a big house, would that make you happy? Does music or exploring the world make you happy? Or about being kind to others? Or learning new things? Completing something difficult, does that make you happy? Does your religion or your beliefs make you happy? Does having good health make you happy? Have a little pause and think. Do those things that I've just mentioned make you happy? Well done. A lot of those, nearly all of those would make me happy. But here's a question. What if you could only pick 5 of those? Which are almost the top 5 that make you happy? Pause the video and have a think. Remember, I will say one thing. There's no right or wrong here. This is what you call subjective. It is your opinion. So there's no correct answer. It's what you think, okay? So pause the video, have a think. What are your top 5? And you can tell me through the computer. Well done. Thank you for having a think. Lots of different answers there. A lot of people said friends and family. A lot of people said having good health is important. A few of you said money. One person said food and drink, because you need it to survive. Therefore, you need it for happiness. But as I said, there's no right or wrong there. But happiness, though, is key to humanism. So humanists believe we only have one life and we should make the most of it. Someone who is a humanist does not believe in an afterlife like you would have in Christianity, like you would have in Islam. A fundamental belief of being a humanist, you have one life. Okay, because of that, year 2, humanists believe you have to make the most of it. Humanists believe that it is important for everyone to find their own way to be happy. Humanists believe everyone needs to find a way of being happy because you only have one life. So you should try and spend it being happy as possible. But they also say there's no set answer though. What makes you happy might be different to what makes me happy. Okay, we all have different things that make us happy. So that last activity about those top 5 things that would make you happy might have been different to what I had. But what we do share, if we were both humanists, was we have to find what makes us happy and kind of hold on to that, because humanists believe we have one life and we must make sure we are happy for it. So as I said, humanists believe happiness is at the core of their lives. The other thing that is important to humanists is humanists believe one of the best ways to be happy is to make other people happy. Making others happy will help make you happy. So a humanist belief believes that, you know, if you can make someone else really happy, in turn, a consequence of that will be that you're going to feel more happiness. So humanists really believe in helping others. And that again, though, year 2, is a similarity between humanism but other religions. We know that we learned in Islam with zakat, that giving of charity. We know in Christianity, it's important to give to your neighbor. In Sikhism, at the Gurdwara, food is given to those who can't afford it. So this helping is something that we have in common. And we must remember that even though we all might belong to different religions, we have so much in common, okay? We must always remember what we have in common. But going back to humanism, making others happy is important. What I'd like to do after I give you maybe an example or two is, how can you make other people happy? Can you make other people happy by listening to them when they're sad? Can you make other people happy just by listening to them when they have a good story? Could you help carry someone's bags for them? Could you help them with their work? Could you give a compliment? I always tell my class a story where at my old school where I taught, I had a co-teacher who said that I had a really nice green jumper one day. And for some reason, I've always remembered that story and I've always liked that person because they gave me a nice compliment. They made me feel happy. Okay, so pause the video. What can you do to make other people happy? And can you fill it out on the first part of your sheet? Off you go. 3 things. We're looking forward to seeing them on Seesaw. Please pause the video. Well, hopefully you've written down 3 things on your task sheet that can be done to help other people feel happy. Why have we done that? Because that is an important part of humanism, about making others feel happy. Okay. So let's recap a little bit about humanism. Humanists believe we only have one life and we should make the most of it, because they believe once you kind of pass away, that's it. So humanists believe, well, if we've got one shot, let's make the most of it. Humanists believe that it is important for everyone to find their own way to be happy. And remember, I'll say this one more time, there's no set answer. What makes you happy might be different to what makes me happy. But what we must remember is, part of being a humanist, we have to make other people happy too. All right. Also, so this is kind of the different point on this page. Humanists believe money can help with happiness, but it cannot, I repeat, cannot become more important than the other areas that give us happiness. Because we know money is important. It allows us to have nice things, maybe go on holiday. But humanists believe money is not everything. And if you just only think about money in terms of happiness, it won't make you happy. You could have all the money in the world, go on all the places, but if you didn't have friends, a humanist believed that you wouldn't be happy. If you didn't have curiosity about the world, you wouldn't be happy. So even though money can help us, it doesn't guarantee happiness. It can't be the main point. There was actually almost I won't say economist. This called a scientist about money who looked into how much money you need to be happy, and there gets to a point, year two, after having a certain amount of money, you don't actually gain much more happiness. So someone who has £20 million to someone who has £600 million, then happiness might not be that much different, because there gets a point where money can only make you so happy. Okay, and that's important to humanism, that it can help, but it can't be everything. So really, really important. What you're going to do now is write your own recipe. We're going to be writing an instructional text to create a recipe for happiness. So we're going to have a main heading. I haven't done a hook today, but if you wanted to put a hook in, you could do. Have you ever wanted to know how to create a recipe for happiness? Well, read on to find out. So if you want to go a little bit further, you can, but I haven't put it in for today. We have a main heading. We have the what you need or the ingredients subheading. We have the method. And then our final subheading will be key tip warning. Remember, not subtitle. A subtitle is what you get in a foreign language movie which translates it. Okay. These are main heading followed by your subheadings. Okay. So I don't have obviously my visualizer to model, and I know some of the tapping isn't the nicest. So what I've done, I've got this here for you. Okay, so we start with our main heading, and our main heading I've chosen is a recipe for happiness. You could call yours making happiness. It's up to you. But we have our main heading, and our main heading, remember, tells the reader what the piece of text is going to be about, and I'm going to underline with a ruler my main heading. Then I'm going to have the ingredients, and my ingredients for what I think you should be happy potentially is good health, friends, being good to other people, and having some curiosity. I think curiosity to humanisms, and I've done this as a, if I were to call myself a humanist, I think curiosity is very, very important. Okay, so yours might be different. Okay, yours might be different. But one thing we should all have is being good to other people or helping other people, because that's very important to someone who is a humanist. The next section is the method. Okay, and I've used my numbered list here, and I said number 1, add good health to a bowl carefully. 2, next, sprinkle in some good friends. 3, generously, I like this adverb, generously add being kind and help to other people. Oh, that doesn't read very well, does it? This is why we always read through our work. This is what we call a deliberate error. So generously, and I could put here a comma, my fronted adverbial, generously add being kind and helpful to other people. There we go. I read through my work. Lastly, glaze with a good helping of curiosity. Lastly, glaze with a good helping of curiosity. And what I will do, because I know a lot of you are screaming at me, I have my full stops at the end of my sentence. Sometimes when you have a method, like a recipe, you don't always see full stops. I will put them in because that is the end of my information. So there is my method, okay? I've got adverbs, okay? I have put in those commands, add, sprinkle, glaze, okay? And the last thing I need to add is my warning or my key tip. And again, I've done it from a humanism point of view. Warning, money can help sweeten the mixture, but be careful to avoid letting it overpower the other ingredients or your happiness can turn sour. And there we go. There is my recipe for happiness that you are going to write. There is another option, which is there's a plate and you can draw your ingredients on the plate. But try to do this. Try to use your learning and show off what you can write. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm just going to end by just recapping, those key points. So humanists believe we only have one life and we should make the most of it. Humanists believe that it is important for everyone to find their own way to be happy. Happiness, year 2, is of key importance to a humanist. There is no set answer, though, on what makes you happy. Okay, but they do believe one of the best ways to be happy is to make other people happy. Making others happy will make you happy. Anyway, I'll speak to you all later. Goodbye.